Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, today we are going to discuss about the creative number 5 and creative number 18. From the suggestion book, I already gave you the assignment, right? So, from those assignment, I'm going to discuss these two creative with you, which will be helpful for you to solve other problems of the assignment, okay? Acha. So, let us continue. Now, you already have the question with you, even though I would like to share my screen with you and then discuss the problem. Okay. So as you remember, this is the problem that we discussed in our last class, right? Today we will discuss about this problem, number 5. So let us take a look. After seeing a lightning, a person standing on the ground heard the sound 4 seconds later. Okay. So the lightning occurs in the sky, right? Let us say the sky, the lightning occurred, and standing on the ground, there is a person standing on the ground. He heard the sound 4 seconds later. Okay, that means the sound was originated from here, and the sound was heard by this person after 4 seconds. That means in this 4 seconds, sound traveled from the sky to the person, right? And within this time, the sound traveled in air medium. Okay, we do not need to mention this, separately, because this can be understood very easily, right? This is common sense. From the sky, the sound is traveling to the man, and the medium through which the sound is traveling is air. Okay, so let me write air here. Okay, and the time taken in air, it is 4 seconds. Then what we have, after half second from this, a diver heard the sound of the thunder while he was in the water. So let us say this person is standing on the side of a river, okay, or ocean or sea, whatever you say. That means there is water, okay. Here there is water and there is one person. He heard the sound after more half second, okay. That means the sound traveled from here to here in 4 seconds, and it went to the diver, okay. He heard it after 4.5 seconds, okay. That means TW, it was for half second, right? Okay. For in 4 seconds, it traveled from the sky to this person, and from the person, it traveled to the diver in half second. Okay. That means in this half second, it was traveling through the water medium, right? So this has to be understood very properly. In the first 4 seconds, the sound was traveling through the air, and in the next half second, after 4 seconds, another half second, more half second, it was taken for the sound to reach the diver. Okay, so diver is at some depth in the sea. Okay, and it took half second from the level of the sea to reach the ear of the diver. Okay, so half more second has been taken by the sound to reach to the diver, and during this half second time, it traveled to the water. Okay, so this is what we get from up to reading this. Okay, then the average temperature of the air was 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, fine. The temperature was given. Let us say as the temperature is in degrees Celsius, we will mention it in theta. Theta is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, fine. Then what we have, the velocity of the sound in water, it is 1460 meter per second. Okay, velocity of sound in water, so it is VW, right? VW, it is 1460 meter per second. So all the information that has been given in this stem, I have listed up here. Okay, now let us see what we have been told to find out. At first, it is being asked that what is longitudinal wave. Now you already know what longitudinal wave is, right? Sound is an example of longitudinal wave, and that progresses by compression and rarefaction. Okay, so in this way, or else you can say that the direction, the angle between the direction of the wave and the vibration of the particle, they are parallel to each other, right? The angle between them is 0 degree. That is why they are parallel. So you can put the definition in any way you want. We already discussed about this. Then let us talk about number B. they are asking, why did the person hear the sound of the lightning 4 seconds later from seeing it? Yes, this is a very important question. Okay. Now, there are two things here. One is light, another one is sound. Now we know that light travels much faster than the sound, right? So when the light and the sound is originated here, what will happen? The light will reach our eye very fast, right? Then we will see the lightning, but the sound is still traveling, right? The sound is still on its way to us. So it will take 4 seconds for him to come to us. It will take 4 more seconds than the light. Okay. So that is why as the light travels faster, we will see it first. And as the sound travels a little bit slower, what will happen? We will hear the sound after a couple of seconds. Okay. Here in this case, it is 4 seconds. So kindly write it in a arranged way and send me picture so that I can check whether your answer is okay or not. Then number C, this is from where our calculation starts. In number C, they are asking calculate the velocity of sound in the air at 20 degrees Celsius temperature. So now we can do this. Acha. So let me list up here what I need to find out. Number C, this is 5, right? Number C, they told us to find out the velocity of sound at what? 20 degrees Celsius. So let me mention V20 is what? Okay, in short, I'm just writing. Then number D, what they asked in number D, they asked us to find out what is the distance between the source of the sound and the person. Source of the sound is this and the person is here. So what is the distance between them? Let us consider the distance to be S. S. Okay. We have two distance actually. The distance in air, let us mention this one as SA, and the distance traveled in water, SW. This distance, this is the surface, right? And from here, the diver is in this level. So the distance traveled here is SW. Okay. So what we need to find out here, they asked us to find out the distance between the source and the source of the sound and the person. Source of the sound and the person, the distance between them is SA. So we need to find SA is equal to what? And also the distance between the diver. Okay, so from source of the sound to the diver. What I said? From source of the sound to the diver. This distance will be SA plus SW, right? This whole distance will be SA plus SW, then I will get the whole distance. So another thing that I need to find out is SA plus SW is equal to what? Okay, so I have listed up all the needed information here, so I will stop sharing my screen with you now. Okay, so concentrate to the board. Acha. We will deal with C first. Okay, here they have asked to find out the velocity at 20 degrees Celsius temperature. So while solving this one, we know that already T1 is 273 Kelvin, right? 0 degrees Celsius is 273 Kelvin, and at that temperature, the velocity of sound is 330 meter per second through the air. Okay, we are talking about air, not water. Okay, so remember this one. So this is T1, V1. Then T2 is given. T2 is what? 20 degrees Celsius, right? We need to convert it into Kelvin. So 20 plus 273, it will give me 293 Kelvin, right? Okay, so this is 293. Then we have to find out the velocity at this temperature, correct? Now we know the formula that we have to use to find the velocity. We will write we know V1 by V2 is equal to root over T1 by T2, right? Out of these 4 quantities, we already know 3 quantities. The 4th quantity is we have to calculate. So put the value. V1 is 330. And V2 is something we have to find out. Okay, V2, I will not put the value now. Then root over T1. T1 is 273. So I will put a big root over 273 divided by T2. Where is T2? T2 is 293. 293 Kelvin. Okay, so V2. From here, I will get the value of V2. Okay, I'm not writing the final answer because I want you to calculate it and tell me the answer. Okay, so when you will be watching this video, okay, then do the calculation and kindly send me the answer. Okay, and this will be considered as a part of continuous assessment. Okay, and this will also be a test who watched the video. Okay, so kindly do the calculation and tell me how much you get the velocity. Okay. Okay, then in number D we need to find out SA, right? The distance between the source of the sound and the person. Okay, that is the distance is SA. Now in C we already calculated VA, velocity in air, right? I did not calculate, so I'm not writing the answer. You will write the answer and do the calculation. Okay, so what I can write, whenever we are considering the velocity of sound, I already told you that we have to consider this velocity as a uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means there is no acceleration occurring, right? So if there is no acceleration, we can apply the formula S equal to Vt, right? Okay. So now this box here, you have to write the velocity that you got from the C. Okay. The value of the velocity that you got from the C, you have to put it here. Okay. So when you put the value and multiply by 4, you will get the value of SA. Okay. I'm just showing you how to do it. The calculation, I expect you to do it yourself. Okay. So from here, definitely I will get the value of SA. Let us say I got the value of SA now. Okay. Then I have to find out this SW distance also, right? How to find out this SW distance? Let us see. We will apply the same formula, okay? The same formula, just in case of air, it will be water now, okay? So SA will become SW, VA will become VW, and TA will become TW. So SW, this is equal to VW, velocity in water. We already know this. This is given. If you notice, this is given here. Velocity of water, it is 1460 meter per second. Okay, fine. So put the value 1460 into time. The time taken to travel in water, it is 1 by 2 seconds, right? How? So 1 by 2. So 14, if you divide it by 2, it will be 7. 60 divided by 2, it will be 30. So 730 meter. We are considering meter here, right? So 730 meter is the distance in the water, right? So now this is not the final answer actually. You have to add it with the value of SA. They have asked you what is two distance they have asked you. Number one distance, what is the distance between the source of the sound and the person? That one we have already calculated by SA. That is one answer. Another answer is what is the distance between the source of the sound and the diver? Okay, so you know the this total distance has been divided into two parts, that is SA and SW. You already calculated SA before, now I calculated SW. So you have to add those two and then tell the answer. Okay, that will be the answer of the question, the distance between the source of the sound and the diver. Clear? If there is any doubt, you may ask me later. Okay, no problem. So the distance between the diver, I will tell you again. The distance between the source of the sound and the diver, this total distance has been divided into two parts, as you can see. One is SA, that is in the air, and other one is SW, within the water. So if you add these two distance, then you will get the total distance, the distance between the source of the sound and the diver. Clear? So this 730, you have to add it with SA, right? So I will, for further clarification, I will write it. The distance between source of sound and diver is equal to SA plus SW. SA is something you will calculate and put the value, and SW, let us say SA, I represent by this circle, okay? Then plus SW, this value, 730. Okay, you will get something meter, so that will be the answer. Okay, so two answer, one answer is SA itself, and another answer is SA plus SW, the value you will get here. Okay, okay. So if there is any doubt, kindly do not hesitate to contact me and let me know later if you need any further clarification. Okay, so in the next segment we are going to discuss about the creative number to 80. Okay, we will discuss about creative number 18. Okay, to discuss creative number 18, I need to share my screen with you again. Okay, so here as you can see, this is number 5. If we go further below, yes, here we have creative number 18. Yeah. So if you take a look at this is the given figure, right? So in the figure, what you can understand, this is a transverse wave or a longitudinal wave. You can see there is contraction, clearly written, this is contraction and this is expansion, contraction again, expansion again. So what type of wave this can be? Yes, this is a longitudinal wave, right? Where there is contraction and expansion. So one contraction and one expansion, completes a wave, right? Starting from here, one contraction, then one expansion, it completes a full wave. So one oscillation is completed in this length. Then from here, another wave starts. Contraction, expansion. So another full wave is there, right? So how many waves we got till now? One wave, two wave, and you can see that for the next wave, we have only half of it. That means we have the contraction only, the expansion part is missing. So in this full length, okay, how many waves are there? If I ask you, you can see that starting from here up to here, one wave, then again starting from here up to here, another wave. So two waves are there, and then we have half of another wave. Then we can say that there is 2.5 wave. Can I say it? I hope I can do so. I can say that there is 2.5 wave. So the length of 2.5 waves is equal to 50 centimeter, right? I will use this information later. For now, let us just list up the information. Okay, then the velocity of the sound in air is 347 meter per second. Okay, velocity in air, it is, let us say this is dA. Okay, so 347 meter per second. Then again we have in water. Okay, the velocity of water is given. Well, the velocity of sound in water, that is 1474 1474.75 meter per second. This actually goes with what we know already, right? We know that the velocity of sound is highest. It is the fastest in solid medium, a little bit slower in liquid medium, and the slowest in the gaseous medium. So air is gas, slowest, a little bit faster in the water, liquid, right? And in the solid, it will be fastest. Okay. So then we know that what is called amplitude. Yeah, amplitude is something we can explain through this figure. You already know these things, right? So from the equilibrium position, the maximum distance covered in a particular direction. Okay, this is called amplitude, and that is expressed by A. Then we have a number B. A sweating person feels cool under a running fan. Explain why. This is a very interesting question, right? This is actually related to evaporation. I hope you know what evaporation is. Whenever we sweat, there is water drops on our body, right? So what happens? After some time, you will see that the sweats are evaporating, right? They are not on our body anymore. Our body is dry. At the same time, you will notice that your body has become cool. Okay, your body is colder now. So what is happening here actually? Now you know that to evaporate, okay, to evaporate water, we must supply some heat energy. You have a liquid, if you supply some heat energy to it, then only it will be able to become water vapor, right? It will be able to evaporate. So Here you are not supplying any heat energy. So how it is evaporating? As it is evaporating, it needs some heat energy, and that heat energy it is taking from our body. Our body, when we do some work, some heat is generated. Okay, so what happens? The sweat, the water drops that is on our body, what they do, they take the heat from our body and use it to evaporate in the air. Okay, so as they evaporate, they take the heat energy from us. As we are losing, our body is losing heat energy, so our body will cool down. Do you understand my point? Okay, our body is losing heat, and the sweat, they are getting the needed heat to evaporate. So they are taking the heat from us, they are evaporating, and as a result, we are cooling down. So a sweating person feels cool under a running fan. This is what happens. Whenever there is a fan, you stand in front of a fan, the evaporating rate is higher. Okay, when there is a airflow, we will study this one in the chapter of effect of heat on matter, inshallah. So we will discuss about that in more details when we go to that chapter. Now, in C, they asked us to determine the temperature of the air. Okay, we already know the velocity is this one. As you can see, the velocity is not 330 meter per second. If the velocity was 330 meter per second, I could have told that temperature is 0 degree Celsius temperature. But now the temperature, the velocity is higher than 330. Then obviously the temperature is not at 0 degree Celsius temperature anymore, right? So temperature is something higher, maybe 10 degree, 12 degree, 15 degree Celsius. We have to calculate what is the temperature now. Okay, so we will do calculation, inshallah. And we will also see the question number D. What will be the change of wavelength of the sound in water in compare with air? Okay, so wavelength in air, it will be lambda A, and wavelength of water, it will be lambda W. So we need to compare this lambda W in D. Okay, and in C, what we need to do? We need to find the temperature. Okay, so I have listed up all the given information. Now we will start our calculation, right? So I will stop sharing my screen. Okay, now let us focus. This is what given information is. Okay, so from here I will continue my calculation. Acha, let me write the information here so that I have some space here to calculate. Now 2.5 wave or oscillation, they mean the same thing, right? 2.5 oscillations is equal to 50 centimeter, right? From here, can you tell me what will be the length of one oscillation? The length of one oscillation is going to be, divided. 2.5, it is 50. For one, it is less, right? For one. So it will be 50 divided by 2.5. So if you divided 50 by 2.5, I guess you are going to get 20, right? 20 centimeter. Now, if you notice, this 20 centimeter, can I consider this one as wavelength? I can. Why? Because the length of one oscillation, this is what wavelength is, right? The length of one oscillation, or I can say the length of one wave, the length of one wave, right? So starting from here one wave is completed. So the length of one wave, that is the wavelength, if you remember. So I can mention this one as lambda A, because this is in air, right? So lambda A, I already got 20 centimeter, right? Achha. So I need to convert it into meter. Always try to follow the MKS system, that is meter kilogram second. Okay, so if you divide it by 100, it will become 0.2 meter. Achha. This is one information here, so I will erase this from here. Okay. Then we have velocity in air. It is 347 meter per second. Okay, fine. I will erase that one, this one too. And the velocity of water. I do not need this figure here, so I will just shift this information here. 1474.75 meter per second. Okay. So in C, we needed to calculate the temperature, right? As we always do, we will write V1 T1 first. So what will be V1 T1? T1 always 0 degree Celsius. 0 degree Celsius means 273 Kelvin. So 273 Kelvin. And the velocity at that temperature is 330 meter per second. Okay. So we have T1 is equal to 273, V1 is equal to 330 meter per second, and we know that the velocity now that we have V2 is 347 meter per second. I don't know at what temperature I will attain this velocity. Okay, so we will apply that V1 by V2 equal to root over T1. Let me keep a bit root over T1 by T2. So I will put the values. Okay, V1 by V2 will be 330 divided by 347 is equal to root over T1 by T2. T1 is 273 divided by T2. So to get the value of T2, I need to remove this root over, right? How I can remove this root over? By squaring both the sides. So I will do squaring 330 by 347. So the square is equal to, here root over and square they will get balanced, and 273 divided by T2 it will be, okay. If you want to ensure 100% mark, try to write the necessary side notes, okay, as you have to write squaring both sides here, okay. You have to write squaring both sides, okay. So then from here what I can do, I want to find out the value of T2, right? So what I will do, I will just inverse it, okay. So then what will happen? 347 will be numerator now divided by 330 whole square is equal to, it will also be inverted, it will be T2 divided by 273. Now this 273 I will just cross multiply. So it will be 347 by 330 whole square into 273 is equal to T2. Okay. So now let us do the calculation and find the answer. Okay. Okay, I did the calculation myself and I got the value of T2 to be 301.8517 Kelvin. Actually, you can write up to 85 only. 301.85 Kelvin. Okay. So now you have two choices. Either you can write the answer in Kelvin, or else if you want, you can convert it into degree Celsius. If you want to convert it into degree Celsius, how can you do that? All you need to do is subtract. Okay, as this is T2, I will mention this is theta 2, 301.85 minus 273. So if you subtract minus 273, if you subtract 273, you are going to get 28.85 Kelvin. Okay, sorry, not Kelvin. Now this is in degree Celsius. Okay, theta is in degree Celsius. So you can write either way. Better, as the temperature in the question it is mentioned in degree Celsius, I think it is only logical to find the answer in degree Celsius itself. Okay, so if you do not want to take any chance, and if you do not want to give any chance to the examiner to deduct your mark, I will suggest you follow this one, find the answer in Kelvin, but then just write this 2 extra line to ensure you get the full marks. Okay, so find the answer in degree Celsius also, so that the examiner has no logic to deduct your mark. Okay, so please do this. Achha, so this is number C, right? Okay, temperature we have found out. Now we need to calculate lambda A and lambda W. Let us see how to do that. We will compare, right? So I will show you how the comparison is being shown. Achha. So when we are told to compare, we both need to find out lambda A and lambda W. Lambda A, if you notice, I have already found out here, right? 0.2 meter. In D, you need to show this calculation. At the beginning of D, you need to show this calculation. Okay, I'm telling you again. When you start answering D, you need to show this calculation. You have to write 2.5 oscillation is equal to 50 centimeter. So one oscillation is equal to 50 by 2.5 is equal to 20 centimeter, right? So, so one oscillation, the length of one oscillation, that is wavelength. So, as this is in year, so lambda A will be equal to 20 centimeter, which is 0.2 second. So, I will just directly write it here 0.2 meter. Sorry, not second, 0.2 meter as this is length. Now, we need to calculate the lambda, right? As I already told you, as there is medium change, whenever there will be medium change, the velocity will change, but the frequency will remain same. Okay, I will write it here. for your convenience. Medium change. We can see there has been a medium change. At first it was traveling in air medium, then it was traveling in water medium, right? So medium change, that will result in velocity change. And we can clearly see the velocity is changing. Velocity was 347 and then it became 1474. But what about frequency? The frequency will remain same. If you remember, I told you, if the source of the sound is not changing, the same sound is traveling in air, the same sound is traveling in water. As they both are same sound, the frequency is going to be fixed. But as they are traveling in different medium, their velocity will vary now. Velocity will change. So frequency will be same. Same. So velocity change, but frequency is going to remain same. Okay, that's it. So here for air, what we can write? dA is equal to F lambda A. I did not write FA because F is 1. F is not separate for air and water, so not FA and FW. Then again, dW is equal to F lambda W. This is equation 1 and this will be equation 2. Equation 1 and 2, right? So if I divide equation 2, wait a minute. The brightness was less still now. Okay, no problem. Equation 2 divided by equation 1. If I do this now, then what will happen? dW divided by dA will be equal to F lambda W divided by F lambda A. Now from here, F and F, they will get cancelled, right? And we will put the value of BW. We know already 1474.75 divided by velocity of air. Velocity of air is 347. Is equal to lambda W. Lambda W is something we have to calculate. We don't know it yet, but lambda A we already know. 0.2. So from here, lambda W, if I cross multiply, what will happen? 1474.75 divided by 347. This will be multiplied by 0.2. So let us do the calculation and see what is the answer. So I did the calculation and I got the answer to be 0.85 meter. Okay. So this is lambda W. I hope up to now it is clear. Okay. So we have lambda A 0.2 and we have lambda W is equal to 0.85 meter. They told us to show the comparison. Whenever they tell us to show us the comparison, we need to show the ratio of them. Must remember. Okay. So what we will write in the question, what they mentioned first. Let me check again. In the question, if you notice in D, what will be the change of wavelength of sound in water? See, sound in water they mentioned first, so I need to write lambda W first. And then I will give ratio sign and then I will write lambda A. Remember, must remember, okay? What will be the change of wavelength in water in compare with explain with mathematical logic, okay? So I hope you understood why I wrote lambda W first. You have to check it from the question and then write accordingly, okay? So now if I write it, what will happen? This will be lambda W first. So it will be 0.85 is to 0.2. So then what will happen? I know that ratio, I can, write it in this way. This one will become down and this one will become go up. So in numerator and denominator. Similarly, it will go for this 0.2. So then lambda W by lambda A. If you divide 0.85 by 0.2, what you are going to get? 0.85 divided by 0.2. It will be 4.25. 4.25, right? Then I will just cross multiply. Lambda W is equal to 4.25 lambda A. Now what I can say from here? The wavelength in water, it is 4.25 times of the wavelength in air. This is the comparison they told us to show, okay? In air it is lambda A, in the water it is lambda W. So the wavelength in water will be 4.25 times, 4.25 times. Okay, if it was only 2 here, then I will say 2 times, but it is 4.25 here, so I will say 4.25 times of the wavelength in here. I hope this is clear. Okay, so this is the relation you have to show and write the statement finally. You have to write that the wavelength, whatever I'm saying, you have to write the wavelength in water is 4.25 times of the wavelength in air. Okay, so that will be a concluding and the answer line. I hope till now whatever I explained you understood it very properly, but still if there is any doubt you have the liberty and to ask me in doubt in anything. Okay, so I'll be waiting to hear from you. Thank you very much, students, and do not forget to send me the answer of the first question. If you remember, I told you to calculate a velocity in the air. Okay, I will be seeing who is sending me the answer first. Okay, depending, it is going to definitely affect your continuous assessment mark. Okay, so kindly send the answer as early as possible. Stay safe. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.